making French toast, you need 3 eggs. We're first making the batter. We crack the eggs. And we don't want any shells. So we're just going to put that to the side. Then, once you're done, 3 eggs. Oh, that one might have been a double yolk.
Keep going.
So we're cracking these 3 eggs. And then we have about a half cup of sugar.
What kind of sugar?
Brown sugar. But it doesn't really matter as much how much sugar you put.
It's more based on flavoring and what you're interested in, right?
Yeah.
So we're choosing a half a cup to make this batter.
And then just pour that in. Stuff. We're pouring in about a little more than a half cup of milk or cream or whatever. Almost whatever. And then pour that in. And then we're using this mixer.
What about the salt, Sam?
And then we're gonna add a half teaspoon of salt. Put that in. You always want a little bit of salt, but it kind of just depends on the flavoring. And then we're gonna mix it. So
A little more consistency. So look at the bubbles, and you can see it can be broken up a little bit more. So go ahead and keep blending. You see there's still whites and yolks. And so you're gonna try to mix it so you can't really. You can even take it up a little bit if you want. I like it when it's a little bubbly.
and this should look kind of like this, but it needs a little more.
Looks pretty good to me. What do you think?
Yeah, just this spot. A little bit.
So that's your batter. Voila.
It should look kind of like this.
So now what do you do?
We're going to put this inside. There. And then it doesn't really matter what kind of bread you dip it in. Just like you could use hot dog bread or like burger bread. It doesn't really matter. Like once, and then wheat bread or white bread, we're using country white bread.
So really fancy bread would taste good too, or stale bread like they used to use. Obviously, hot dog buns aren't ideal, but it just happens to be sometimes we have leftovers and you want to eat breakfast. And then you're going to dip it into this container here, Sam. So think about your flow of
So
work.
we put in this one,
Yep.
and then you can notice like after you mix it, it might look really bubbly. There might be some chunks, but that's okay. Because you're gonna cook, you're gonna like
How long do you think you should soak the bread? Is it just kind of based on what you're...
40,
What, for cooking
30
it?
to 41.
Seconds or something?
Yes.
It just kind of depends a little bit on how mushy you want it, if you want it custardy or if you want it less or more
But
toasty.
it'll get, remember that you're cooking it, so it won't be as mushy and like...
It's probably not a bad idea to pull out the bread that you want already ahead of time, but we're planning to go ahead and use that whole rest of that loaf. Otherwise, you wouldn't want to dip the egg back into the plastic. But we're planning to use all the bread today.
Yeah. And then it doesn't matter if they're touching or not. I'll just get out for a few.
Sounds good. So after you're done dipping these, we're going to start cooking.
get into it. And sometimes there can be chunks of bread that fall off.
I noticed you're using your bare hands, Sam. What did you do before you did that?
I wash my hands.
Very good.
Before everything, you always want to wash your hands. And then you see a chunk in the middle fell out. But that's okay because you're using up all of it. Unless if you want to store it, then you might, but you probably don't want to store it, so you want to make enough of this as you can.
Yeah.
And you might.
It's true. It's better just to go ahead and cook all the French toast and just heat it up tomorrow and after storing it in the refrigerator. But I wouldn't necessarily store the batter.
You can use cinnamon, vanilla, or any kind of flavor
To add to your batter?
to add to your batter.
Okay.
And then you go ahead and get it some ready. And then
Looks like we're getting close to wanting to cook it up now.
yep. So first you can see after the batter, you might want to wash your hands, and then you can set it to 3, 4, or sometimes 1, 2 if you want. But 3 and 4 will get it cooking faster. But you don't want the butter to get brown when you first put it on. So you want a teaspoon, about a tablespoon of butter.
Temperatures. Yeah, the idea you have is you want the butter to melt, but necessarily to burn really quickly. But you also want the stove hot enough that you're cooking the toast relatively rapidly, but not so rapidly that it's easily burnt.
Yeah.
So now that you got a pretty good smear, I'd say let's go ahead and add yourself a piece of French toast.
And then your hands will still get a little eggy.
Go ahead and add 2, honey.
I'm gonna add 2.
And then tell them what you're looking for when you're cooking it.
We're looking for a kind of brownish and just a little brown.
Well, it's kind of up to your own preferences,
Yeah.
but what would you say you like it?
I like it kind of a little golden brownish, kind of brown, some parts a little darker than some, like pancake,
Yeah.
like golden brown pancake-ish.
Yeah.
And it's cooking. But
So I feel like it's cooking a little bit slow right now, so I would bump the temperature up just a little bit. Let's just bring it up over 5 a little bit.
yeah, but then we might turn it back down because
Yes.
we want it. This and the other side of that one might take a little longer for you to see it, but that's just because it's the end of the loaf.
So Sam, what should kids do? Should they just go straight to the stove, or should they look for a parent? What do you think?
They should look for parent supervision, or if it's harder for them to use the stove, they could do the dipping and stuff, and then the parents can do the cooking.
So you should never just turn on the stove when
And-
you're a kid without talking to your parents first.
Yeah, and put some bread on.
Yeah. So always talk to your parents first. Make sure it's safe. And one of the most important things is to always turn off the stove when you're done.
Yeah, always.
So how is it looking? So what would you do to start to figure out whether it's cooking well? Do you look underneath it?
I feel the top a little.
What do you feel on the top when you know it's getting close?
Well, you should feel it not so soggy like this one. You should feel it
A little bit firmer?
a little firmer.
Okay, so one thing I like to do is check under the corners of the toast and see if it's starting to get the color you like.
Oh, it's starting to get the color.
Okay, so are you going to be able to turn it?
Yeah, we gotta flip it, but you really want to get.
If you need to, we can grab a rubber spatula in addition to it.
Yeah, it's starting to get kind of brown. You can see that.
That's perfect to me.
Yeah, that's really good.
So that means the other one's probably ready too, right? Because it was on the stove at the same time.
Yeah. And also to me that is kind of perfect.
That one looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Yeah, they look beautiful.
So now you're going to give it just another probably a minute.
Yeah.
You can check the corners again.
But it's probably going to take a little while longer than this.
Well, that one side, the second side should be faster than the first side because it was already heated up a little bit. So it's just a matter of looking under the corners until you think you got the color you like.
It still needs a little time.
All right. So then we just give it a little bit more time and then you check it again in about 30 seconds to a minute.
You get, like, even you can see it's kind of yellowish, but once you're cooking the other side, it'll get less, it'll get more, brownish.
So how are we looking? Are you happy with it or is there any more?
I think we're good. And then we might want to have a plate ready. And since we had at the same time, this one is probably ready. That one probably needs a little more time.
Looks pretty good in dough.
Yeah.
If you need to, grab another spatula or a rubber. That'll help you to manipulate it. Good. So do you need more butter? Or do you feel like it's enough oil on there still?
I think, like one chunk of butter.
Usually the more you cook, the less butter you need, but every now and then if it starts getting brown, I would wipe out. If it gets to be too overcooked, go ahead and get your toast on there. What would be my recommendation?
Yeah.
Go ahead and cook a second one after you spread it out.
See, you can see that it's like,
Is it warm?
still, yeah. That means that's why, but when you're cooking the other ones, you still need, like, it still will be kind of yellowish, but it's okay because you just gotta, like, know how you want it, and yeah.
Well, we're going to check back with you, Sam, in a minute after you get through the rest of these French toasts.
Yeah. And then if you have extra, you can just pour it on. Like, we had some extra, so
Some extra batter.
some extra batter, so we just put it at the bottom because we don't have any more bread except turn off the stove. And then
And maybe push that handle in. See that handle? Push it in.
push
No,
it.
sorry, baby. You're going to push this in because you don't want somebody to knock into it.
Yeah, because then it could flip and then
Yeah,
it might
exactly.
get burned.
And now here we have our French toast. Excellent.
Yes. So here's the French toast. I already took a bite of it, and it tastes great. Oh, sure. It tastes great.
Well, thank you.
It's really good.
Take care. Thanks for making the French toast for us,
And
Sam.
this still tastes good too.
The French toast stick, maybe with the hamburger bun. Mm-hmm. All righty. Well, have a good day. Thank you, Sam, for making French toast for the family.
You're welcome.